Hi there, welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. And today we're going to be doing, it's going to be very fast, very loose. You see that there's a little bit of green in my water there, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to keep moving our brush very quickly back and forth. I'm going to introduce a little bit of Payne's Gray across here. I'm going to put some trees. I'm going to put a tree line in here, and that's going to all bleed back into the color that's in the background there, and this is going to be just all background color. Okay, so you see how quick and loose I put that in there. I'm not trying to direct it too much. Rinse my brush off a little bit here. See how that all bled back in there? If you don't want that to bleed back in there, you just tip your board up and you get it to run back this way. And I'm just going to take a roll of tape and stick it under here and get that all to come back down this way. And if you want to remove some of that, because there's quite a bit of paint there, you can just take a paper towel or tissue, whatever you got, and touch it here, and you'll see that'll wick that away very quickly. Okay? You don't have to get in too much of a hurry. Just let it, just touch it. And when we're trying to paint loose and open like this, we're trying to not to control everything. We're trying to have some fun and just enjoy the, sort of the magic that is watercolor painting. And I'm going to put a little bit of this across there. And again, we're not going to try to control this too much. And you can see how that's giving me some kind of cool looking trees. This is going to become trees in the background. But I'm going to take my 3/4 inch flat brush here again. I'm going to pick up some Payne's Gray. And I'm just going to touch it in a few spots like that. And I'm trying to get some tree canopy off in the distance here, okay? And I'm going to take my tape out. And I'm just going to let this go back to laying flat. And again, I'm going to try to introduce some more of that across there. And right now what we need is we just need for this to dry. So if you want to bump up some color saturation somewhere, it's very easy to do that. But right now what we need is we just need this to dry. Okay, so let's let this dry and we'll see what we get. Actually, before that dries, we're going to do a couple of other things. I have my #1 watercolor brush here, and I've sharpened the one end of it, and I'm going to just put some tree branches or some tree trunks in some places here. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing down here. Now when this dries, it'll dry back, way into the background, okay? Do some more there, maybe a couple to cross over. Okay, now we're gonna let this dry. Okay, so I took my hairdryer to that, and this is still a little bit wet around here, but that's okay. I'm gonna pick up some yellow ochre here. We're just gonna put a little bit of yellow ochre along like that, and touch it in here a little bit more. I want to get some of this to maybe bleed together a little bit. And then I'm not gonna rinse this brush out. I'm gonna pick up my sap green. I'm just gonna run that along there. Try to get rid of that hard line. Pick up a little bit more sap green. Nice yellow ochre into that. And maybe just a touch of Payne's Gray in a few places. Now we're gonna let this all dry, okay? You see where this hard line is across there? If you don't want that, you can just take your brush and just drag it across there and get rid of that line. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm actually going to rinse this out and pick up a little bit of, this is sienna. Put a little bit of sienna in a few places. Like that. And I'm actually going to go back to my little paintbrush here, and I'm going to put some more lines like this. And I'm actually going to grab a little bit of yellow ochre here too. Just put a little bit of yellow ochre in a few places like that. Okay, now let's just let this dry and see what we get. Actually, hold on, one more thing before we let this dry. I'm just going to drop a little bit of salt. There we go. A little bit of salt on there. And now let's take a break and see what we get. Okay, so that dried up pretty nicely. Let's put our mat on here and see what we get. So you can put, put your mat up here, get more sky. Put your mat down here, get more foreground. I kind of like that right there. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you're from. If you're currently a subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot for joining me, and we'll see you again next time.